Harimoto with the serve. Forehand flip for the winner. Little off the top of the net. Quick apology for Harimoto. I think it was the first point against Shushin that blew everybody out of the water. Excellent loop to open up from Timo Boll, deep to the backhand of Harimoto. Very aggressive right from the start. This is something that the young players in Japan have really practiced and practiced hard. Miyu Hirano and Tomokazu Harimoto, two of the most aggressive players early in the point. No question about it, he comes in with the open face of the racket for the soft shot, but as soon as he realizes he has a chance to attack, it's a full swing. You've got Hurricane Hirano. I think the same nickname could be applied to Harimoto. I think I've heard a few people call him Hurricane Harimoto. The World Tour. Wins another World Tour title in 2017, not to mention countless in between. I guess it's countable, but not right now. So having competed with the best Chinese players in the world and beaten the best Chinese players in the world, his name is well known here in China. Harimoto, having parents from the province, could earn him some fans, but we'll see. Deceptive serve earns a third ball for Timo Boll. 3 quick points in a row from down 1-4. It's interesting seeing the father and son facial expressions. The similarities with the blinks beforehand. There was that heavy underspin serve that we saw against Koki Niwa be so surprising. Again, Timo Boll in reading spin, Koki Niwa in touch. It's very rare to beat them this way. A heavy underspin on the reverse pendulum serve. Timo Boll now trailing by just 1. You can see in the background, Saki Yoshida. While the Japanese team sort of watching closely, analyzing what's happening out here. Soft block with the powerful counterattack from the forehand, and Harimoto leads by 2. Oishima and Kenta Matsudaira back there watching as well. The change of rhythm that Harimoto brings to the table. One soft shot as well. Typically, he likes to be the first to explode on the ball. And the backhand zeroes in, sees the heavy topspin, closes down. Saki Yoshida, Machi, and Yuto all there watching and supporting as Harimoto just excels at punching down through that heavy topspin ball wide to the forehand. Surprise placement, Timo Boll out wide to the forehand. Inside out windshield wiper receive. You can hear the sound of the hand being cleaned on the table, dried off. Timo Boll now down by 2 with 2 serves. There's the soft one, change of pace. Timo Boll trying to calm himself, plant his feet. This is clever. Harimoto has played some very aggressive shots, knows that sometimes he can surprise the opponent by slowing it down. Big point here, 4 game points for Tomokazu Harimoto to take game 1 over a very solid Timo Boll. Ripping backhand does it, 11-6 in game 1. Harimoto has prepared and he's showing up for the exam. Game 2 coming up right after this. Stay here. Legend versus Tomokazu Harimoto, the legend in the making. The junior world champion at 13 years old. Oh, surprise. Not sure if it was the edge of the racket. Timo Boll with the apology, but Harimoto thought the point was over. Turns from the middle. His fist was starting to clinch. That flip is so strong. Again, there's a reason the banana exists, that Chiquita shot. It's that the backhand is much easier to control and generate more spin from over the table. So you can imagine how hard it is to hit the forehand consistently on that short receive. Serve comes a little long, but still the heavy spin of Harimoto earns him the point. Placement as well. Well-placed ball, very low and spinny, a little more shallow on the table from Timo Boll. That backhand can generate a lot of spin. See where the bounce was way inside the line. Changes the timing for Harimoto. Makes it tougher for him to catch the ball on the uprise. Timo Boll vocalizing a little bit. It's interesting watching the replays of Shushin versus Harimoto. We don't hear Shushin vocalizing so much, but I think it brings it out of some players playing Harimoto. A very vocal player himself, strong fighter. Ooh, can understand the foot stomp. He earned himself that third ball. Still not an easy ball. Timo Boll solid in the blocking game, but if he plays that down the line, there's very little chance that Timo Boll's gonna block it back. An important point for Harimoto to get back his mojo, or his mocho, if you will. Good variety of Japanese players there. Machi in the middle playing quite strong early on. Serve drifts long. Harimoto's read and his receive is so good. A lot of people ask, how can I work on improving receiving serves? And the answer is receive a lot of serves. See all sorts of different serves. Just like anything else, the more you do it, the better you get at it, especially if you're determined to improve. That means you're going to be paying attention, taking notes, learning from your mistakes. Smart opening down the line to the forehand. Now, Harimoto's missed a few shots. You have to imagine Timo Boll's to credit here for the spin he's adding to the ball and the placement. But about 3 shots this game, we don't see Harimoto miss so much. Excellent placement again from Timo Boll to keep the pressure on. Second towel break of the game, and it's a 2-point lead for Timo Boll. Soft touch, reads the spin well, comes in a little bit at the side angle of the ball. Short receive, swinging shot can demonstrate. Catch the side of the ball right off the bounce. Extra sprint from Timo Boll to change of pace, and Harimoto in the counter loop rally. A strong start, but Timo still has the speed. Watch him run this down, right back into position. Now at 36 years old, he's doing a lot of physical conditioning to stay so strong. We saw him at the Korea Open in outstanding shape. Tempting serve, Harimoto leaving it at the middle of the table. Big point. Harimoto right at the back edge of the table. Trying to catch the words of his father and coach. But again, the ability to take the ball from over the table. This is something we see from Swin-Ying Xia as well. Earlier in the point, you can attack, the better. Yu Hirano used this wisely at the Asian Championships. Heavy topspin and slightly more passive. Harimoto in the blocking game. Boll takes back the lead. Oh, beautiful receive, long serve to the backhand side. See where the second bounce is on the table. From that angle, tough to tell, but it didn't seem to be fast enough or deep enough to really bother Harimoto. Third towel break of the game, and they're dead even at 9 points apiece. Tomokazu Harimoto going straight through Koki Niwa in the last round, 4-0. Timo Boll really wanting to establish himself here. And whenever Harimoto's been forced into the softer to serve, again, he's 3 days away from being 14 years old, still only 13. And the more aggressive play suited him very well in game one, the quick counterattacks. Again, if it's a push, soft works. If it's a block, it hasn't worked as well. Timo quick to get in, take advantage. We didn't see that as much from Timo Boll in game one. It was only 6 points that Timo earned in the first game. What a receive, heavy underspin on that pendulum serve. Harimoto with the perfect read. Father staying cool in the corner, not getting too excited. I think Harimoto has enough excitement for the family. There it is. Soft blocks all the way around, and finally a counter to finish it down the line. Not an easy shot. He makes it look easy. It's a risky ball, short side of the table. So fast a turn from the middle, agility, core strength. He's thin, but he's definitely not weak. You can see the definition in the arms and the legs starting to develop for Harimoto. The amount of power he has, it's a long ways to go, but Dmitry Ovtcharov is waiting on the other side of the bracket. Look at that extra side spin from Harimoto. That's flexibility in the wrist to come around the outside of the ball on the loop at the same time. 5-1. Harimoto leads. And we've heard a lot more variety in language from the crowd here. Instead of Boar, they're going for Timo. We've heard them speaking Japanese to cheer on Koki Niwa. Lukewarm receive, open face of the racket, and quickly put back on defense. Little surprised we didn't see a counter attempt. Often see that from Harimoto, quick to explode. Kick serve jumps up and into the edge. That's 2 quick points for Timo Boll. Oh, the backhand to finish it after 2 furious forehands. He's out on the forehand side of the court and confidently turns to play it down the line. Look at this. Quick reaction. The racket was out in front anyway. Just cocks back with the wrist. Short stroke. Does whatever he can to keep the pace on the ball. Now the feeling in this rally is that that's Harimoto's point. He has time to loop it. It was last game, I believe. Yeah, last game where he missed a few shots down the line like that. Service variation from Timo Boll to save the point. We got a timeout for Harimoto. Father Yu Harimoto in the corner. Just trying to hear what was being said there at the moment of the timeout start. Harimoto accidentally knocking the water out of the bottle. Score still in the lead by 1. Remember, he was up 5 points to 1. And you have to imagine that they've reviewed videos time and time again. Well, I say that, but then again, the match against Koki Niwa was earlier today, so it doesn't leave a lot of time. But Harimoto, I would say the aggressive shots, even in the blocking game, if he can stay near, he can turn to get the forehand stroke in. He's very effective. The first ball to receive, when he's been aggressive with that, the percentages have been good. But then again, experience, Timo Boll switched up the serves, and the percentage of receives and aggressive receives that Harimoto wins have gone down. Back edge of the table for Timo Boll right out of the timeout. A relatively aggressive receive, going for it, Harimoto. Very mature. Quick to get to the towel and back to the table. Again, not worrying about what he can't change, what he cannot change, the past. Tries to surprise Timo with the long serve to the forehand, but it's a little bit inside the baseline and not wide enough. Pretty deep, but Timo Boll's not turning the corner. He's patient, and as a result, gets the opening attack. This is a big run right now for Timo Boll. From down 1-5, wins 7 out of the next 8 points. Coach Lei Young in the corner cheering on Timo Boll. The footing looked a little bit off for Harimoto on that, like he tripped up on the step just a little. This time he invests in the 4th ball. Timo gets the first spin shot and the counter there, backing off the table. Still a 2-point game. Harimoto not out of it. Look at these angles, so quick off the bounce. For Timo Boll to get the first few back was quite impressive still. Covers the middle with the forehand. Deep to the backhand, but just can't get there quick enough. Ball still on the uprise. Look at Harimoto. If you want to know how it's done, watch closely. Oh, the flip, but anticipated well. Timo Boll's there to counter. Deep cross court to the forehand. Again, solid over the table play, but the element of surprise is even tougher to bring to Timo Boll. He's seen, you want to say he's seen it all. I mean, again, 36 years old. He's been the top German player for some time until passed by Dmitry Ovtcharov. 2 game points for Timo Boll. Heavy underspin on the serve, and he gets it 11-8. What a comeback, and diffuses the timeout. Timo Boll in control, 2-1. Harimoto now behind and on the chase. We'll see what happens in game 4. Stay right here. We'll see. Again, from an energy standpoint, Harimoto should have more energy. Definitely the pace from behind the table. A lot of pressure on Timo Boll. That's typically the distance, actually farther behind the table than the distance Timo Boll would practice blocking loops at. Well placed to the middle on the flip. The Chiquita. Little eye contact with Yuto Muramatsu for a moment on the right. Well placed serve right at the forehand edge of the table, just off. Leaves Timo Boll with not an easy shot. He could let it drop a little bit lower and try to spin it up over the net, as we've seen effectively done by Koki Niwa. Quick off the bounce again, creating the angles. Corner to corner, coast to coast. Tomokazu Harimoto fights the most. The rhyme was available. I don't know if that's a completely true statement, but definitely fights hard out here. Right down the middle, the forehand, the full stroke. This is partially a strength thing. I mean, to have that much racket speed with a full arm stroke takes a lot of strength time and time again. Physical conditioning. Harimoto already taller than his father. We'll see, could have a few years of growing left, who knows. Unbelievable. He lobs it confidently deep on the table and decides he can get aggressive with the backhand from off. This ball was bending into his forehand too, the forehand side of his body, and he took it with the backhand and immediately seizes control of the point. 2 in a row. These aren't big loops like we see Fan Zhendong doing. Short, wristy shots from Harimoto. The apology there. Now, he was up 5-1 in last game. We've got 7-1 here. Although Timo Boll came back to win last game, crucial that Harimoto continues. Shorter side of the table leaves Timo Boll moving around the corner and only trying to recover the ball to the middle of the table. Heavy spin, difficult ball to play to the short side. But you know what? Credit to Harimoto. This is his way of, much like Timo Boll will do, Timo Boll's expecting that ball to come back cross court, and Harimoto knows that and tries to play it the other way. Serve comes a little long. Timo Boll with an excellent receive. Inside the table, right at the back edge. 2 points in a row for Timo Boll. Off the bounce pace, this is what's made Timo Boll so dangerous over the years. And even though Harimoto won a big point from off the table, he's not going to be favored to win points as he backs up. He's going to have to try and stay and get aggressive early in the points. Typically, Harimoto has a very forward-driven stroke. And the backhand, a lot of forward motion. That's the first head back chole we've seen from Harimoto that I can recall this match. The point's starting to matter more and more. The bow and arrow. The back arches like a bow. The shot like an arrow. Again. This is the second point where 3-1 over Harimoto. At the start of the last 2 games, it looked very unlikely. It looked like Harimoto was quite in control. Game 1, 11-6. 5-1, 8-1. Will 10-1 be enough? We'll see. We'll see if we can regroup or if he can regroup. Easier said than done. We haven't seen too many people who've been able to shut down Tomokazu Harimoto, that have been able to stop his forehand flips and his big swing loops. There we go, some spin on the backhand, getting the back into it. This is a spin that was needed throughout last game and the big points. Even with that short stroke, you could see he starts, drops the racket head just a bit as soon as he realizes it's coming to the backhand, snaps up and over. Even though he missed the shot, 2 shots with spin. He's playing better strategy. He's not into the passive or punching game. Not to say that punching is passive, but it's a less secure shot than the big strokes and the topspin shots. Kicking serve from Timo Boll stands Harimoto upright. If Harimoto loses this match, people will say he wasn't ready, he's not there yet. 2 shots isn't enough. His spirit seems crushed. That's 1 big shot. But the fighter Harimoto doesn't give up, not usually. We saw it against Shushin late in the match. We might be seeing it out here as well. He doesn't look the same, the body language. Win or lose this match, I don't think Harimoto isn't ready. I think Timo Boll's outplaying him. But this match still feels to me like it could have gone either way. It's a 5-1 lead now for Timo Boll. He's crushed. He's not the Harimoto we've seen. He's not the junior world champion out here on the table. Although he's not playing the junior event. He's playing a legend of the sport who knows the game so well and can pinpoint his opponent's weaknesses. He's playing a player who made Gao Ning look like an amateur not too long ago, who made Patrick Franziska at his most incredible tournament in some time look outmatched. And it's the 2nd point for Harimoto. Just a flicker of hope. 2 in a row, the fight's starting to come back. Is it enough? Is the mocho of Harimoto here? Can he get his groove back? So this is the fiery backhand that was absent for pretty much the past 2 games. Early on in this one, he's now within 2. The freedom, that free-flowing whip-like backhand, same with the forehand side. Will we see it from Harimoto? Top of the net and just long. Crowd clearly supporting Timo Boll here. I watch, and you just go, eee, this ball comes back and Harimoto's in trouble. 2 big shots. Gets the point. We've seen it though, where he makes 2 big shots and Timo Boll gets it back on the table. It's not enough. The body language of Harimoto needs to be the undying fighter. The bow and arrow back arching chose. Where's that Harimoto? Oh, and he's burned, the shoes come out from under him. Again, a few big shots and he turns the corner. Timo Boll predicts this. Plays the short side of the table. Three-point lead for Timo Boll, up 8-5. And he goes for the behind the back shot. This is over. I rarely say this, but body language, I can't recall seeing Harimoto go for a behind the back shot. Of course, he's got some solid influence and the angle of the racket's right. And it's 5 match points for Timo Boll. Stole game number 3. Stole game number 4, and if it sounds any better, worked so hard to earn the 2 games before this to completely break Harimoto. And it is an all-German men's singles final. Timo Boll over Tomokazu Harimoto, and I have to say, great sportsmanship as always from both players. Harimoto gave a good handshake and a head nod and said, "You played well, there was no